This is another video brought to you by the Ichiban Productions. Like, comment, subscribe. So welcome everyone, happy days are here again. I'm back with another tech review, this time looking at the WiMiUS, don't quote me on the correct pronunciation of that, 1080p video projector. I know why you're here. You're looking for a projector just like I was about a month ago, and trust me, it's a minefield and I've been through all the ups and downs, so I'm here to save you a load of time. I've looked at loads of different projectors, you know, from the PC world and the Curry's £1,000 projectors right down to the 30 quid projector. And for the record, yes, I did buy a 30 quid projector at some point. I was a couple of years ago. It was rubbish, but it still works, believe it or not. But I needed something better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what I was looking for in a projector. If it matches what you were looking for in a projector, then watch the rest of the review. So the story for me goes, I was looking to get something for my mate stag do. The idea was we were going to have an outdoor cinema / gaming session. So I was looking for a high quality projector that worked in not necessarily complete darkness, but projected up to a huge scale. Generally was cheap. I was looking for under 200 quid, and I watched loads of reviews, read loads of stuff on Amazon, because let's face it, Amazon's the source of everything, and it is a minefield there because there's loads of different projectors from unknown brands with all sorts of deceiving specs. Anyway, I cut through all the chuff and I ended up with this bad boy. So what makes this projector better than any of the other projectors on there? Well, firstly, the price. I paid 150 quid for this, but if you go onto Amazon, in my link below, there's currently £20 off that. I think it's 159 at the moment, minus the £20, £139. That's some quality maths you can take to the bank. Now, one of the most outrageous claims a lot of projectors make is they claim to be 1080p. And you've got to be super careful when buying these projectors because they claim to be 1080p, but they're actually not. A lot of the projectors on Amazon for the sort of price range are actually 480p. They accept a 1080p signal, but they downgrade it to that disgusting 480p where you can't make out anything. Now this one here projects at full 1080p. In fact, what this actually can receive is a 4K signal, but it obviously downscales it to 1080p. So the picture quality is excellent. In terms of lumens, I mean, that's how bright the bad boy is. This one is 6,500, which is fairly good. I think typical ones are about 4,000. You know, if you're going to pay loads of money, you're obviously going to get a better brightness out of it. But for me, 6,500 is absolutely fine. The contrast ratio also was very good on this one. I thought it was, 8,000 to 1. You know, they can get a lot lower than that. That's obviously the sharpness of it. So that resolution obviously means the picture is pretty sharp, clear, and beautifully coloured. A couple of other key facts I've got for you here. So this has a 4D digital keystone. So that means that when the picture's not perfectly square and it's got a weird like sort of bent in corners and stuff, you can correct that to make sure the image is flat. That means you can put the projector at sort of weird angles and, you know, you can get the picture flat on the screen. That's superb. I know on the cheap projectors, they've normally got a twisty dial that does the keystoning for you, but that's poor. That's just not good enough in this day and age. Another great feature for this particular projector is it projects up to 300 inches. That's absolutely crazy, but it was exactly what I needed to project on this big surface I've got outside the house. It's absolutely ideal. To get that 300 inches, you're going to need to be 6.5 meters away. Now, that obviously, you know, makes sense with the projector. The closer it is, the smaller the image is, and the further away, the bigger the image is. Now, I've set this up in the kitchen as well. I had it project on a nice white wall in there. However, the distance away from the wall was too big, and the picture ended up being too big on the wall. But don't you worry, this has got a digital zoom, which means you can shrink the image down to make it the size that you need it for the wall that you're projecting on. I'm going to add a couple of images in a few seconds to show you the difference a digital zoom makes. The first image was at 80%, which was what I was using in the kitchen, and then I actually bumped it up to 100%, and my goodness, the difference it made was unbelievable. Check it out for yourself. Last couple of things before we unbox it. No, it doesn't have Bluetooth, unfortunately, but you know, that's one of the downsides for this. Yes, it does have USB ports at the back, which means you can power some HDMI devices. So for example, I put a Fire Stick into this. I then connected the Fire Stick up to the Echo Studio, which I've also reviewed, and that created the cinema experience outside, which is absolutely epic. That's enough talking about the details. Let's take a look at the box. So here we've got the projector box. Don't let the quality fool you. I think the projector box does it a massive disservice. It looks cheap, nasty, very basic, but trust me, the projector inside is absolutely excellent. It's the Model S1, not that I could find any other models online. You can have it in black or white. I chose the white here. The black thing here is obviously the speakers. They're terrible quality, so please don't rely on those. You're going to need to think of a different way to produce sound, but the picture quality is absolutely where it's at. It's an LED projector. You know, I'm dubious about what sort of claim that actually is, but I can tell you the picture quality is absolutely superb. Checking out the sides of the boxes, they are symmetrical and have the same piece of information both sides. So it's telling you it's the 1080p projector, which is good. It's the Model S1 LED LCD. It needs to make up its mind. That's all just jibber jabber in my opinion. It just doesn't really mean anything. It is native 1080p, which is absolutely superb. Please be careful if you're choosing other projectors, because a lot of them claim to be 1080p, but they absolutely aren't. You've got your wattage, all that sort of stuff. The weight, it's not too bad in terms of weight. Packaging size, and some key warning signs. Do not look into your lens to avoid eyesight damage. Oh my goodness, you don't need any of that sort of information. Do clean the filter monthly. Yeah, I'll keep on that. Back's the same as the front, and there's nothing on the top other than the Amazon sticker, and there's nothing on the bottom as well. So with that in mind, I think it's time to open it up. Let's get the projector out. Let's show you all the details. Boom, cheeky edit, it's already unboxed. You know it was already unboxed because I've already talked about me using it, so I can give you my honest opinions on it. So this isn't really an unboxing, it's more of a review. I hope you've noticed the better lighting we've got going on here. So if I do a cheeky little swing up, ooh, I've stolen my partner's ring light. Hopefully she won't mind. No, she won't mind, she's good like that. But hopefully, you know, we're going to get some good lighting in here. The time is about 9 o'clock at night. It's pitch black dark. And look at it, it's bright, it's amazing. That's all about the ring light. So thank you very much for lending it me. One thing I did wonder about this projector is why it had so many good reviews on Amazon, you know, and I had my answer the second I opened it. I was greeted by this lovely letter. You know, I'm not going to read it to you. I'm not going to patronise you. And as you know, reading is for prisoners. But read it for yourself if you're really, really interested. But one of the interesting things here is they'll send you some beautiful gifts if you give them a review. Either a projector screen, a Wi-Fi dongle, or £15 gift card. I personally didn't review it. I ain't got time for that. Probably should do that. That's probably me just being a bit arrogant. But I can see why they got so many good reviews for this, because it's encouraging basically people to review. I wonder if they actually honoured that. If you bought this and you've done it and you've got this stuff sent through, please leave a comment, because I'd love to know whether it's worth my time or not. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look in this Aladdin's Cave black box, which had the projector remote inside it, but as I've already used it, it's out and about. I don't think I used any of the cables that came with it, but this was actually jam-packed with loads of cables I was very, very surprised about. So let's have a look what's in there. Let's go one at a time. So first thing we got is we've got a HDMI cable. It's pretty cool they included that. I'm not sure the quality of it. I personally probably wouldn't use it myself. We got ourselves our lovely little cleaning cloth to clean the lens. That's pretty cool. I'll probably need to give my lens a bit of a clean. Next, we've got a VGA cable, a PC monitor cable to you and me. But I was actually damn surprised that they included that. That's unusual. Certainly my £30 projector didn't include that. No comments there. This was the cheeky thing that was surrounding the remote. Hope you can read that. You know what to do. But don't worry, it's in English on the other side. So it is not a infrared remote. It's a 2.4G remote, so therefore it connects wirelessly. So to do that, you've got to press the volumes, turn it on, press the volume controls together, and it will pair. It paired really quickly. It was great like that. Can't remember what this is. Oh yeah, the composite cables. Really quality production there. You can tell that's high quality. Nonetheless, you know, it's for free. It's all good. And just in case we forgot, I did like this secondary card. So this time, apparently, if you review it, you'll get a Fire Stick TV as well. Who'd have thought it? You know, need to get on that review, don't I? Last but not least, before we actually look at the physical projector, we got the manual. My goodness, look at the thickness of that. But it's colour though, you know, I'll give it that. You know, it's not super cheap. In terms of the information that it's got for us, doing a quick flick through if you like. So we've got the warnings, we've got where the buttons are. Look at this, you can pause it and read it if you really, really want. And we've got the control, how it works. So one interesting thing about this is you can use it as, they say, a sound bar, which basically means that you can send sound through, and so you could plug a USB stick in, for example, play music through it. But I don't know why you would, because the actual speakers is terrible. Ooh, it's got a drop down foot there. Drop down foot, I'll show you that when we get there. Look at all these devices, keystone in, focusing, all the stuff you'd expect to do. Source input, oh, I bet you're as bored as I am. So no more of that. It's time to have a look at the projector itself. Taking a look at the projector, remote, very, very basic standard. If you've had any of these sort of cheaper sort of projectors from Amazon, you know what to expect with that one. Let's get the cleaning cloth out the way. I did like that it came with a cap lens protector. It's rubberized here, it does the job, you know, make sure it doesn't get all dirty and whatever when you're not in use. Quick tip for you, this won't fit on properly unless you retract the lens all the way in. So, cheeky bit of advice for you there. Finally, after all that talking, let's have a closer look at the projector itself. So it's got the WiMiUS logo on the front. I do like the pearlescent blue-green sort of trim on there. I thought that was quite nice. Looking down here, you see you've got a red little button here. Press the little red button and... ooh, a little foot pops out that helps you angle the projector when it's sat nicely if you like it. To put it back up, whatever you do, don't just force it up. You're going to have to press the button in and press that up to go from there. Looking on the side of the projector, you've got your fan there, you've got your side speaker there. Obviously it's stereo speakers here, and on this got your stereo speaker on that side. On the top, you've got your basic buttons here. So return, left, right, OK, up, down, menu button there. It's all that you'd expect. And on the bottom, you've got yourselves the rubberized feet. I think you can take those off, and there's screw ports underneath. Also, underneath the black thing is more screw ports if you want to fix it to the ceiling. I personally didn't want to do that. I wasn't very, very interested. Now, interesting on all the Amazon paraphernalia, they didn't have, check out how posh I sounded then, on all that information, it didn't show you any back pictures of the projector, so here you are. So we've got ourselves a power button there. That next to it is a LED to display whether it's on or not. That LED is ridiculously bright when it's on. So if you're sitting behind the projector, you've got that in your eyesight, it's really distracting. So I'd highly recommend thinking a way of covering that one up. Got your VGI cable, 2 HDMI inputs, which are pretty good. AV at the bottom, you've got stereo, if in case you want to plug in your headset by stereo. And you've got 2 USB there. So they are media ones, so you can plug in USBs with perfectly legally bought movies and music on, and it will play through there, which is pretty good. And at the back, you've got yourselves another port for a fan to keep it cool. This, in the experience that I had, doesn't get overly hot, which is really, really good. It certainly didn't when we used it outside for a long, long period of time, and when we've been using it in the kitchen, it's been absolutely fine. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that's all well and good looking at it, but show me what it looks like when it's on. Don't worry, all that's coming up in a few short seconds. A couple of things I want to show you before we actually show you some footage of it actually working and answer some questions. I know that is completely detachable. I just leave it plugged in for convenience. It didn't come with this nice bit of Velcro cable tie fastening sort of thing. I really like those. They're resealable. I think I got those from Lidl. Massive good shout here. Now, to really get this working and getting it really good mobile, so you can even put it on a table. You know, let's hope and pray you've got a table that's right height. If not, I would recommend buying a tripod for it. Now, the tripod I'm going to use for this is exactly the same tripod that I'm recording on at the moment. So I'm going to go guerrilla style, showing you some video footage. I'm going to use my phone and a hand grip tripod thing that my partner has lent me to use, so it should look pretty good. Now, the problem is how do you get this on your tripod? Now, I wouldn't for 1 second expect you to screwing a screw in the bottom and hoping for the best. So what did I do? I needed a projector tray that would fit on my Amazon's Basics tripod, which again I'll link below, and I'll link the tray below. But what does the tray look like? I know what you're saying. It looks like this. Very, very basic. It's got a bit of foam there. It's got an elastic band on here. That doesn't fit over the projector, so you can dream on with that. I think it's designed for a laptop. Not that I'd really want that gripping onto the laptop. It's just a nice piece of metal. At the bottom, it's got a screw bracket. Now, it also came with an adapter, so I needed to put that adapter in there to get it to fit onto the tripod. But what that does, it sits really nicely on top of the tripod, has the projector on it. It's absolutely magic. The other bit I bought is, if you've got one of these Amazon Basic tripods, which I can't recommend enough, you might want one of the snap adapters on the top. So I bought a spare snap adapter. It was a pack of 2. I think it was about 5-6 quid. Again, I'll link it below so you can see the full setup. So if you want this and you want the full experience that the Ichiban Productions is selling here, I'll put all links below. So that's enough talking for me. It's time to see this bad boy in action. Here we are doing some guerrilla filming in the kitchen. We've got the projector all set up. It's got this lovely little stand there. And of course, it's got ourselves our Amazon tripod. I think it's a 72-inch one, so it gets it the correct height for what we need. So it's all set up. Don't worry about the cables, just ignore those for the moment. I imagine they're not there. So I'll swap to another angle so you can see the projector actually on and going. So as you can see, it's fairly big in terms of its projector size. So picture quality is good. I was absolutely impressed by how bright it was and the color it was, considering the room is fully lit, all the lights are on. So if you can imagine that, that's pretty good. It's even better when it's completely dark. So I just wanted to show you some of the features here. So we click there, picture mode, so you can change the warmth of the picture if you like, aspect ratio, projector mode, so you can have it from front, upside down, or have it backwards if it's going to be reflected off a mirror. 4D keystone, which means that you can change how the picture is just using the remote. Hopefully I've keystoned it right. It's probably difficult to tell from the video, but you get the point from that one. The other thing I wanted to show you, of course, was the reduced image size, which I thought was excellent here. So I'm at 75%. So given the distance it currently stands from the screen, I needed to reduce it by 25% to get it to fit. If you imagine what it looks like when it's full size, it's absolutely incredible. So here we go, not getting a copyright strike against my own stuff. So I've got one of my videos playing in the background. So as you can see, the picture quality is pretty good. It's really quite bright still, considering if you're looking at the greens and stuff. I think it's probably lost in translation between obviously the projector reflecting back into the camera on the old iPad, but you get the idea. It's looking pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is knock the lights off and show you what it is with the lights off. There we go, lights off. This is what it looks like when it's in near, well, it is complete darkness in here apart from the projector itself. Very rich, very, very clear. I don't think the image quality is doing it quite as much justice from the iPad camera. You got to see it to obviously appreciate it. I can tell you from playing Mario Kart and a 300-inch version of this on the screen, it was absolutely blew me away. In terms of the volume and the sound, let me unmute it for you so you can make your own mind up about whether you like the sound or not. Let's reach, look at this Gorilla Radio. Gorilla Radio. Let's unmute it so you can hear a bit of the sound. Don't know how that's coming through, of course. That was volume, half volume, so let's turn it up a bit louder. It's way better the darker the room, but still quality advice there. As you can see, the volume goes up quite loud. The quality of the speakers isn't good enough, so quite frankly, you probably need to think about some external speakers of some sort. I recommend using the Fire Stick, which is what this is produced on or being projected on, is the Fire Stick. And I got it linked up to the Echo Studio, which made unbelievable sound. But that sound you heard there was completely from the projector itself. Last thing I want to show you is, I know one of the big things and the big problems people have with projectors, how long it takes to turn off and turn on. So this has been running for a while. So turning it off, click it, power off, fans off, completely done. Can you turn it back on straight away? Click. And there we go, boom, straight back into the action. So this is real time, not fast forwarded, nothing like that. HDMI 2 selected, but no source, straight in. That's how quickly that it sets up. Ooh, it's gone out of focus there. That's the iPad focus, not the projector, I'll have you know. So hopefully that answers all your questions and shows you what it's like in action. If you want more details in terms of more video footage, just post in the comment below. I'm happy to do stuff for you. I wonder what you make of this new Gorilla filming on the old handheld Wibble Wobble 1, 2, 3. So last thing I got to do, summarize everything, give you a final review. So I'm going to leave it here and I'll be back in a second. And we're back. So it's time for my final thoughts, to give you a summary of everything. Should you get this projector? What are the pros? What are the cons? Serious pros for me, one is the price. For 150 quid, I think that's an absolutely fantastic price for the picture quality you're getting from this. Sure, you can get better picture quality, better brightness and all that stuff, but I'd challenge you to find a better projector for cheaper than that. Picture quality is the absolute most positive thing that I can say about this. I was absolutely blown away. I loved the size the screen could produce. It was absolutely amazing outside. We played a bit of Mario Kart. We watched Aliens. It was absolutely phenomenal. It served its purpose to an absolute treat. So I can't fault it there. I was also very impressed with how quickly it turned on and how quickly it turned off. I've used lots of projectors in the past and they take an ice age to boot up and even longer to shut down. But no, I was very, very pleased with that. The remote, it's nice that it's wireless, so it's not IR, so you don't have to be poking around trying to get the right angle and all that sort of stuff. It serves its purpose. There's nothing magic there. The software inside it, you can get better stuff. Like I know you can get projectors with smart stuff and smart technology built in. I don't think you need it. Get yourself a cheap old Fire Stick. It'll be far superior than anything that's built into these projectors nowadays. I like the way it's got 2 USB ports on the back so it can power stuff like that. Overall, I can't sing its praises enough. What about the cons? I think to talk about those is going to be rather pedantic. I wish the footstand at the front was a little bit bigger so you could get a better angle on it. That's just me being a bit annoying with that. I suppose if you were going to attach it to the ceiling, it's really annoying that the attaching ports, the screw ports at the bottom, are underneath the black plastic, so you've got to jab a screwdriver through. I mean, that's pretty poor. And the other big thing I think is perhaps missing is Bluetooth, but you're just being a bit pedantic there. It's not a big deal breaker. You knows it wouldn't be a review unless we put a score on it. So because I'm using a new video editor, I'm going to do away with the 2 thumbs up. I know, stop shouting, you miss it. It was amazing, but it's time to upgrade. So we're going to give it a star rating out of 5 stars. So what would I rate this out of 5 stars? Boom, I'm going to have to give it a cheeky 5 out of 5. That's 5 stars out of 5 stars. I think it's an absolutely phenomenal projector. The price is absolutely superb. It blew away my expectations. I had really low expectations for this, given it's obviously a very well-known brand from Amazon for 150 quid. It's superb. To be honest, is it going to replace my TV? No, it's not going to replace my 4K TV. But this will do really nicely in the kitchen. So we could set this up permanently in the kitchen, get a projector on a lovely white wall as you've seen. I couldn't recommend it enough. If you're looking for a projector, I would say this is definitely the one for you. If you've got loads of money to blow and to spare, then feel free to go for something much better. I certainly wouldn't go with anything, other than this in the price point. Please don't go much lower or cheaper than this, because generally the lower the cheaper you go, the worse resolution. You've got to make sure it's a 1080p projector, and this one does that for you. So I just want to finish by saying a big thank you to all the people that commented in my videos. I do get back to you. I love reading the comments. It shows that you care. It means the absolute world to me to read those. I'm loving the thumbs up. I did see some cheeky trolls of thumbs down my videos. Boo! Like, why bother thumbsing them down? It's just stupid. Especially if you're not going to post any comments on why or what should be done better. Don't be an internet troll. There's just absolutely no need for that. I've gained some subscribers. I want to say a big, massive thank you to them all. I think I'm at 15 now. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I really do appreciate it. It's crazy to think that I started this as just sort of like a pet project, as something just to entertain myself, something to pass the time and stuff like that. And to think that people actually enjoy my content enough to subscribe is phenomenal. I know from reading in comments, I've given people advice that have led them to go and buy things and to look at things differently. And I just think that's absolutely crazy. And I just think, always try and put positivity in the world. And that's what I try to do. Honest positivity. Put it in and it's what you'll get out on the other side. So to finish off, if you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't like it, I suppose you could give it a thumbs down. But don't be a faceless internet troll. If you're going to thumbs it down, post a comment, what could I have done better? If you've got any questions, post them in the comment section below. Or if you've got any questions, post them below and I'll get back to you. But hopefully I've covered everything that you needed. If you enjoy the content that I'm doing and you want to, not miss out on anything, please subscribe. Just subscribe. It costs you nothing. Just click that button. Click. It makes me really happy, and it means you get to get some interesting tech reviews from somebody who's very different and is always honest to you. I'm never going to lie. I'm never going to pull the wool over your eyes. I'm just going to be completely honest at every turn. So with that in mind, you know what I'm going to say. Look after yourself, take care of the people around you, and most importantly, stay out of trouble.